Hey guys, thanks for joining us today to talk about news from the real world video podcast.
Love it. I love it.
Let's do this.
So we're going to start our first article is Life Hack. Lauren. Oh, was it Lauren?
I think it was me.
Matt.
I don't remember.
All right, do it.
Okay,
Matt,
so
do it.
No, it
this
wasn't me.
this article is one of the ones that we kind of enjoy, but not really. It shows up in all these like life hack, how to get your life in shape, how to
We
write a
feel
resume.
obligated to read because
Like the comments are always on these articles.
Yeah, it's always
because
like,
apparently
This is a
we
great
can't-
idea because I didn't know how to sharpen a pencil
I wasn't
before.
sure how to put my pants on.
But
Thanks
so
for these wonderful
I
comments.
think there actually is a life hack article about how to put your pants on.
I'm sure,
I'm sure there is.
Sure is.
And this one was called 27 Time Management Hacks I Wish I'd Known When I Was 20. I don't think any of us are 20 anymore, right?
Oh, man.
But did you guys, and none, like, so I'm assuming none of this was a surprise to any of us. Did you guys learn anything, or?
I feel like this is like reading Blink by or what's that guy's name, or Daniel Pink's book.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Thanks
yeah.
for telling me the things I already knew.
Yeah, or
Oh,
really, it's a reminder. It's a reminder
it's
of
like,
things that you
obvious
should
things make obvious things easier to understand.
take a
Yeah,
break.
exactly,
Take
yeah,
a break to go to the bathroom.
So-
Thanks, life hack.
So there are a few.
But-
It's not really an article. It's slides,
Right.
and they're famous comments, and there are a few comments that are actually pretty interesting. I'm trying to find the one by
That
Babe
that
Ruth.
was the one, the one with the Superman one, was set up a work routine and stick to it, your body will handle it. I was a little surprised. Like, really? Because I definitely tried to work
Yeah.
till 3 a.m. every night, and
No.
my body says, no,
I've actually-
screw you.
I've actually found the exact opposite. The more I mix it up, the more different places I work, and the more, like on my laptop, I'll go to the library, I'll go wherever. I got 8 different places across campus or in my apartment. The more I get done.
I think
I
so.
get stagnant by being in the same
This
place.
quote by Babe Ruth, which I really like, and I think they missed the point. It says, "Yesterday's home runs don't win today's games," and I think that's true. And what I think they mean is when yesterday sucked, today might be better.
Mhm.
But what he's talking about is when yesterday was awesome, we got to still be awesome.
Doesn't mean today isn't going to be any more
Right,
awesome.
right.
Yeah, you're only as good as your last show.
Yeah, right. And that actually was a quote from another article this week.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I'm back to the same thing. Thanks for telling me what I already knew, but
I do
few
think-
takeaway quotes.
I do think
Yeah.
that the people who are 20 now and might never have seen some of these things, that might actually help them. I mean, we're old codgers, let's face it.
And bitter.
And bitter. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
know most of these things, and our work habits are pretty cemented, or not. But I don't think we need Life Hacker to tell us how to be better at stuff. But some people do, and it's a very popular website, and lots of people read it, and lots of people get something out of it. So I do think that this has a place. It just may not be a place for the 4 of
I would
us.
have to say, if this is a slideshow presentation that somebody's showing me, I'd love this.
Yeah.
This is actually a really
Nice
great
format.
presentation.
But just on the
But
website,
just-
on the...
just reading it on my own, I'm
Yeah.
like, give me details. Tell
If
me.
it were a
you know,
video, if it were
quote somebody that actually,
a,
Sure,
TED,
sure.
a TED talk about this would be great.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, something deeper. Well, they can't all be winners. Something else we hear about a lot. Sleep No More. Lauren, I know you love it. Tell me why.
I love it. Okay, here we go. So this is an article from Live Design Online by Natalie Robin, and it's called "Stages of Sleep No More Part 1: The Space." So, in this article,
The space.
the space.
Welcome to space.
We're talking about Sleep No More and the scenic design, if you will, of the show.
Yeah, I think it's definitely what we're
Which
talking about.
I thought this was a fascinating look at this because we talk about the experience and we talk about having seen it. Have you guys seen it?
No,
I haven't. I can't
I'm
afford
so
tickets to
sorry.
go
anywhere.
I saw it last summer and it was spectacular.
I feel like
But
a bad
I've-
theater person.
no one I have
not
talked
seeing
to who
it.
has seen it has
Well,
said
I
bad
am
things
anyway,
about it.
but
I mean, it's
should
great.
see it. We should
But
see
I
it.
thought
We
it was
should watch it.
fascinating to get the design side of it. So that's what this article talks about. So this is actually a warehouse that Sleep No More takes place in, and it was previously full of nightclubs. This is in the west side of Chelsea. And it kind of talked you through the design of the space. When you walk in, there's a bar that you enter into, and then you are escorted in a small group to an elevator, usually separated from your group at that point by a playing card.
Right, that's what you
Right.
think your ticket.
Your ticket. You then are placed on an elevator with a creepy bellhop who explains the rules. He then takes you to random floors, which you cannot see where you're going to because the floor is blacked out.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes you to a random floor and then lets 2 or 3 people out at a time. Sometimes one. He will just choose at random. So in that way, you're very much separated from your group and very much disoriented. And then you're allowed into the space. And so the designer, the artistic director here talked a lot about emotionally how you disorient your audience members, and also how the architecture of the building itself has really defined the experience of the space. A lot of the original bars from those clubs are very much integrated into the scenic design, and kind of create the experience.
They didn't really change very much
really
this
change
in
it.
space. Yeah.
Did you guys find this? What did you find interesting about this?
I mean, I love a little. Oh, I just did it.
Almost.
I love the idea of Sleep No More, and I haven't seen it yet, and I do plan to. I want to see it so bad. I love everything that it's trying to do. I'm kind of tired of hearing about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that doesn't take away from everything that I think it's doing to
Like
to
the-
re-engage the audience in the work that they're in the performance work that they're seeing, and the theater work, the theatricality of everything that they're seeing, and I think it's absolutely fucking brilliant. And I think that there should be more stuff that tries to do this kind of thing.
Do you think this is cost effective? I don't know.
Yes.
I mean, it seems like it's cost effective to do it this way. You know, you basically prop a room. You design it, obviously, but you prop a room, and then it's
Not just
interactive.
our
and I
room,
like it.
hundreds of
Yeah,
rooms,
sure.
right? Like
It
the
kinda
entire
reminds me
building
of
is decked out for this
the-
thing.
I guess it was the early '90s. Sorry, kids. Where
We know you
Tower
weren't
of
born
Terror,
yet.
Tower of Terror became a really popular thing.
Yeah.
I guess it was the early '90s, and you got on this machine, and it drove you around, and you watched a show happening, and then you got up to the top, and they dropped you. I feel like that's kind of what this is. Only you didn't get to choose. You sat in a cart, and they took you around. But I remember thinking how cool that was when I was a kid, and I would love to see this. I think this would be sort of the same thing.
This warehouse is 100,000 square feet, massive space, and having gone through this, every little detail is designed.
Is it?
The audience is free to roam and kind of dig through whatever they want. And so
Here you go.
you
Wait.
open a drawer, and there's like letters to some character that you then kind of find a piece of later on in your journey through the story. So everything is really designed down to.
What if
Is it?
Matt,
Is
Fox,
it?
please,
Wait,
you're
wait,
you're about to
Really is,
explode.
though.
It just seems so lazy. Right? So like, hey, come to this room. You don't know if it's theater because it's all theater. Like, just stop it. No.
Lazy.
Design a show, put it on stage, make it interesting, tell a compelling story, make me feel something
But they
about
do.
you.
Okay,
Don't
it's-
try to
it's-
put
okay.
smoke and mirrors in front of my eyes and
Okay,
displace
psychologically,
me
it
and
is
say
so
like.
psychologically. I was in one of the very early groups when I went through, so they let me off alone, separated me from my group on this elevator. I was
And
on-
you
no,
could have seen anything and loved it
No,
because
okay,
you
no,
didn't
but that's not
know.
true. Okay, but I was left alone on this floor. I was one of the only people on this floor for about 20 minutes, okay? And I'm exploring, and I'm like, there's a creepy dark hallway. Do I go down it? Do I not? So you make choices about that, and it's actually very intense psychologically to
So
go through.
the explosion that just came from Zomar over here is the same reason why my wife won't go see this movie.
Okay.
She hates the breakage of the fourth wall. She absolutely can't stand it. When people come off the stage and talk to the audience members, she fucking hates that shit. So that's why she won't go see it. She just doesn't like the idea of being outsider element.
but
She likes the safety of being in the audience, being in the dark, and watching something happening in front of
But
her.
you still are. You're not interacting necessarily with the
But you're
characters.
still there, and I think the visceral difference. I think the reason why you love it so much, and why a lot of people love it so much, is because you are. There's still, yes, you're intellectually, you're safe behind your mask, etc. But you're still physically as close to people as we are to each other right now, and I think that on a very visceral fight or flee
It's
kind of mentality is something you react to regardless.
And
I also don't think that you can see it now
Well, I might.
because you're so prejudiced against it.
That's true. Like, I'm going to see it and hate it, which is going to be great. But like, I might argue to say that there is the fourth wall, right? So you put the mask on, but who are you, Sleep No More, to tell me to do this, to put a mask on? Like, no, if this is environmental theater, like, I am in control of this, right?
you
So
are.
like, no, but you're not.
But you're not.
You're
I-
not.
I-
Like,
I would
what
definitely-
happens if like I go to see Sleep No More and like a cockroach walks across the floor? Like, oh my god! Like, Punch Drunk, you are the best theater company ever
See,
because
you're reading
I
too much
saw.
into it there.
How can you say you could open a drawer and see anything and be like, wow,
Okay, but
amazing.
that's how well it's designed. I'm not saying that they're.
I bet you for everything
I
they
can't take this
put
conversation anymore.
they put on stage in Sleep No More, I bet you there's 10 things that people get out of totally accidental and
And
Well, I
That's
also
fine.
do think
That's fine.
I also do think that the scale that they've gone to for here is certainly impressive. But I also would be willing to bet that not every drawer on that desk is unlocked.
Okay, no
And
doubt
so,
there
and
is
so,
not. I
and
mean,
so
there's
yes,
doors that
there are.
locked, like-
There's lots of things you can discover that aren't shoved in your face, which I think is great. I love stuff that I can discover on my own. When I watch movies that don't shove the whole point down my throat, I'm engaged in that.
There
And I
are-
think that's what is so
There are
engaging
people
about
that have
Sleep No
gone back to
More.
the show 4 or 5 times and get a different story every time. So there's a lot of layers of, whether you believe that the letter in the drawer was designed to be part of the story or not, there's still a lot to get out of it, I think, if you're...
So either way, they're not going to be apologetic for the type of story that they're going to
Neither
show
am I.
you, and you're not going to be apologetic for disliking
Your abject
it.
hatred.
But I'm going to fight you.
But our next article, the artistic director does apologize.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he-
Not really apologize.
No, he apologizes like a...
It is sort of an apology. Who's on this one?
Lauren.
Lauren,
Okay,
Laurence.
me. This was a fascinating article, I thought. This is an article from the New York Times, and it's about Annie Baker's new play, The Flick, at Playwrights Horizons. This article is written by Patrick Healy. So the artistic director of Playwrights Horizons, Tim Sanford, emailed about 3,000 subscribers explaining why he chose to produce this particular play. The runtime of the show is about 3 hours long, and there's long periods of perceived silence.
No dialogue.
No dialogue in this text, which Annie Baker has explained that that's really not the case. We can talk about that later. Tim Sanford has been clear that this is not an apology, but really an effort at community engagement, engaging with his audience in a discussion about the
I have
merits
to say,
of the piece.
if I got this
Call it
letter,
whatever you
all
want,
right, here we go.
Okay.
If I got this letter from the artistic director and I was a subscriber and I went to see the show and I was like, whether I liked it or not, I get this letter and it says thanks or sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Right.
I automatically then would think we're done.
Yeah,
we're
something's
done
wrong.
with this,
Something-
Something's
this
wrong.
conversation.
To cover your ass.
Yeah.
Do you think
yeah.
he should have written this letter in the first place?
No, never. I mean, I don't know why we are so sensitive to what people dislike or what makes people feel uncomfortable. I'm so sick of that. That like comedians are apologizing for saying things they say, and that doesn't make any sense to me. The whole point is for you to get up there, speak your mind, and if I don't agree with you, who gives a
but
shit?
Here's my
Who
problem is that
cares?
they're not complaining about the content of the play. They're not complaining about some offensive thing that's in the play. They're complaining about the runtime and the silence, which to me is absurd. Like,
So their response to get up and leave
Right.
is a correct response.
yeah, but
Right,
I mean,
exactly,
Get up
exactly.
and leave. That's
And,
the
I,
thing.
and if it were just 1 or 2 subscribers who are doing this, but I don't know if the article actually quotes a
doesn't
number,
say.
10%.
but 10%. So that's a significant portion of subscribers, especially if you're a smaller company whose subscriber base is probably only in the realm of 3,000, 4,000 people. Like I don't know if even
All right,
I didn't do any
having,
research, but
having worked at theater before, I know that in every show there is a person that says, "I'm done with this theater company. I'm not subscribing to this
absolutely,
anymore."
absolutely.
And they'll always write. It's some little old lady who's writing a letter. I didn't like the word.
Yeah, it was
And it whatever it is, it just happens. And so the response to leave is fine. The response of the artistic director to fake apologize
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not
It was
fine.
ridiculous.
Here's my other problem is that I think the audiences, I have a real problem with people walking out because it's a 3-hour long play. Okay, Lord of the Rings, all 3 of those movies clocked in at least 3 hours. The last one was 3.5 hours, and you get no intermission in a movie.
I seriously doubt that these people left because it was 3 hours long.
That's what they said, though. That's what
Wrong.
the article.
They left because it sucked.
Yeah, but
Yes, why
that's
they
not
left.
true, though. Okay, this
No, that is true.
Oh my
No, I
It
think
was
that's
good.
true.
There's
I
no
think
way
that's
you
true.
would not stay. You wouldn't
I mean, this-
stay if
I
it
mean,
was
this
good.
theater company is only produces new work
Yeah, but
in
they've
New
also
York,
produced
correct?
some of the
So
best new work. They've ever
absolutely,
Sure,
absolutely
sure.
did
But
produce some of
this
the best
sucked.
new work. But this
It's
is
also-
probably not some of the best
I mean,
new work.
gotten-
It's probably crap.
It's gotten very good reviews. It also just won the Blackburn Prize.
I'm sure, but critics.
Very prestigious.
That-
Anytime you
talking
have to
about-
call your award very prestigious before you name the
Yeah.
award, it's probably not as
No one's
prestigious
heard of
as you think it is.
Let's not talk about theater critics and what they think about theater.
Well,
because
so
it's
really,
always different
what
than
is
I do.
what is the crux of this entire? Are we
People left because they didn't like it.
debating that people should not have gotten up and left because it was long? They should have gotten up and left and just had the nuts to say your place sucks, I'm leaving,
No,
or that the artistic director should not have said
I
I'm
think
sorry
that's
that
the
I'm not
bigger-
sorry.
That's the bigger issue.
That's
is
the
that-
thing that's important
is
to
that
me.
the artistic director is going, I guess. what
The
would you call
artistic
it,
director
beyond the
should have
program.
emailed a picture of him grabbing his nuts and saying, "We got really good reviews. F off."
No, I don't.
Like I just
No,
don't
because
fucking apologize for this stuff.
Well,
I'm
you
sorry,
are
I'm but I'm not
fire
sorry.
with
I mean, by
language
the same
today.
time,
FCC's
though-
making a lot of money off of Jake right
Send
now.
an apology letter to all of our viewers, all 5 of them.
I'm not sorry at all.
4 of us and David
I'm not
Overton.
sorry at all.
Lauren, you were saying.
Now I've lost it. I mean, I understand his impulse to desire to at least talk to his subscriber base about it if he's concerned
Yes.
about losing 10% of his
I mean,
subscribers.
I think that's legit,
I still
and I
don't
think
think
by
he
There are other
You
ways you
should-
should do it.
right,
You do a
I mean,
Q&A.
He doesn't
you
need to
do
apologize for producing this work.
Open
He,
bar
and,
after
you
the
know,
Newspaper
show.
reviews.
Something.
by having this theater company, he's asking his patrons to trust his choice
Yeah,
artistically.
or yeah. So instead of apologizing for wanting to produce it, say that he's sorry for them not liking it, or something like that. Something like that. That to me is different than saying I'm sorry that
No, I mean, then
that
you
you
send him a
walked
letter
out.
and say,
Like,
what
I'm
do
sorry
you
you
wanna
didn't fucking
see?
like it, but
Or
or just suck it up and accept that this is going to
I
be
think
part of doing business with only new work.
I mean, I think we have to acknowledge that every single show that we see, people are going to hate it and like it, and
Right.
that's what we do.
And if you have subscribers that are going to unsubscribe from your entire season based on one play,
right.
They might.
then screw those people anyways.
No, but you kind of need them.
We do need
Yeah, well, you need their money. You don't need them. Let's call it what it is.
Can of
Like,
worms. All
You
right.
need them. I think that's it.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming and thanks for talking about news from the real
This
world.
was a
Yeah,
good
this
one.
is-
This
I'm
was a really good one.
unapologetic about this. I
Um,
think it's great.
so if anybody out there wants to follow us on Twitter, it's #NFTRW.
Yeah.
And CMUPTM.blogspot. Is that right?
PTM, CMU, PTMblogspot.com.
.com, yeah.
CM.
That is absolutely true.
I think we'll put a link in the video or something.
Yeah,
We probably
tweet at
should
us.
do that.
Tweet
Maybe on
at
the
us. We'd
bottom
like to hear from
somewhere.
you. All right. Thanks a lot.
Just don't tweet about picture of my nutsack because.
Jesus
What?
Jesus.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry though.
I'm gonna start going.
We need